Wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, you're welcome back again on this platform where we tell you undiluted truth. When you are planning your Japa, I would like you to also watch this video because I've been saying it, many of you do not understand. But this one, you can't fail to understand it. I'll be right back.
The Conservatives started it, the Reform supported it, and now the Labour is ready to implement it. Yes. Slavery actually never went away. So you're telling people to come and look after your elderly parents that you cannot tolerate for a day. Yes, you can't tolerate your mother and father in the same house for one day. So you push them to institutions to look after them. You bring people from overseas with a promise of doing this for 5 years and setting them free by giving them what we call the permanent resident. That gives them the power to work and be flexible and to move around with their other commitments. These people have endured a lot of abuse from the system, from your mothers and fathers. They are being beaten because they are care workers. They are being slapped in the faces. They are being sweared on with racial slurs. They are packing the poop of your mother and your father. They are doing things that you cannot do for the parents that birthed you. Now when it's just about time for them to have the opportunity to settle in this country, make it their home, be able to work without limits, you tell them, hang on, no, actually, let's make it 10. Did slavery ever go away? So you want to hold a whip them in the back for 10 years for them to toil their life away. And you tell me that this country is a country that promotes freedom and justice. No, it doesn't. You tell me that you have a whole article, a publication that speaks against modern day slavery when you're actually an enabler of modern day slavery. You guys don't know that these skilled workers that you have brought from overseas do not have recourse to public funds. They are not entitled to any of your benefits. They do not have anything to do with your benefits. They are not entitled to houses, i.e. council houses. They pay their bills, they work really hard, and for you to get sponsored for these jobs, you need to work a minimum certain hours to qualify you for your visa. Morning. So these people, actually, the minimum they can work, the minimum is 36 hours, which most of your locals do not do. Most of your locals work 24 hours and they check out to go on holiday because guess what? They're on universal credit. But these people put their life down. They do things for your parents that you cannot do in your life. They feed your parents, beg them to eat, just so that they do not lose weight, because that is a safeguarding concern if they lose weight. In the process of doing this, they are beaten in the face, they are beaten, they are kicked, they are cursed. They pack the poop of your parents that you will never do in your entire life. And then you go about saying, oh, they are just here for benefits, when they are not even entitled to this benefit in the first place. So tell me, did slavery ever go away? Did slavery ever go away? You can make it 10 years, 15 years. The children of God will definitely survive. What is meant to be will be. What is not meant to be will not be. But what I want you guys to understand is that there is no justice in this UK. There is nothing like anti-modern day slavery. There is nothing like that because this is the headquarters of slavery. Yeah. It is.
And that is the perfect truth. That is modern slavery. Just bear it in mind that you are jabbering into modern slavery. I don't blame you though. I blame the system we found ourselves, the government we found ourselves, the situation we found ourselves as Africans, particularly Nigeria, where everything has collapsed, that everybody wants to escape from this hell called Nigeria. People will prefer to be in prison to live a life of slavery than to live in Nigeria. And that is the hard truth, bitter truth, and a painful one. Somebody like me cannot survive Because that is why Nesolana they are in Bulapam, not Nigeria. After doing my studies in the UK and doing my post-study graduate 2 years, I even had a business registered there. But one nah man, the feeling of going out at that time when you know that normally 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you're on the road, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, in our budget to meet up for your work schedule and the rest of them. And at the end of the day, if I got a rap log, you will have enough to have your bills paid, and afterward you have very little to keep for yourself. Many will not tell you that living in abroad will not make you rich or super rich, perhaps. Not certainly. But you're going to live a very good life. Many people will not tell you that. The struggle is not customer come, I get them. I want to be blunt about it. But that doesn't mean that on the long run, especially when it got to do with securing the future of your children, is not a sacrifice worth paying for. But I want you to drive it at the back of your heart, at your subconscious, that you are into modern slavery. You see, all of not just about UK, but the Western world. But the problem is, I have shifted from blaming the Western world for our problem and shifted to not even the government people in Africa or in Nigeria, but to the people themselves who are the suffering masses, because we are the ones that energize some of these things, the bad governance. And that is why we remain consistent in making sure that we continue in this advocacy until we have a better system, a better society, where schools is available for the haves and the have-nots, where everyone have access to quality healthcare service delivery, where the young people will have opportunity to thrive. Except you want something much more, then you can leave. But everybody being driven away from this misery you call country called Nigeria. My dear, well, it's up to you to make your choice, to be part of this advocacy. Because as far as I'm concerned, we all are prisoners in Nigeria. We are slaves in even our own country. So that's why people will opt to be slaves elsewhere than in Nigeria. And that is why we have this Japa Central. Everywhere you turn, even the people who just Japad, immediately they Japad, they'll bring out their phone because internet and social media is paying. They'll start, racketing for route to Japa. As if to say people are paying them specifically for those purposes. Well, I'm not stopping anybody from Japaring. But if you must, bear it in mind that you are in for modern slavery. But why can't we stop that? Come to think of it, our ancestors fought so hard to resist slavery. Now, we are the ones submitting ourselves willingly, paying through our nose to be slaves in the Western world. Does it make sense? So it all boils down on governance. I believe I've made my point very clear. And I hope you all will be part of this advocacy for good governance. The least you can do is to keep sharing this video. I'm signing out. I still want to repeat as your advocate for good governance. Bye-bye for now. GGN, uniting the people for good governance.